First of all, this movie, and I'm going to get an answer to this question because the director is going to be joining us momentarily. This movie is an over-the-top action comedy that is like, the best way to describe it is it's like an anime brought to life. It's like a live action anime. Everything is like very quick-witted, this, no, whatever, and like and sort of over the top in its ridiculousness. One of the villains steals puppies. A guy gets his arm ripped off multiple times, and it's just ridiculous. And we have the director and I believe the writer and star, Ryan Harrison. Ryan, how's it going, man?
Hey, yeah, I'm the writer, director, producer, funder, theatrical distributor.
Well, yeah. Actually, and go and check out the trailer. Actually, the link is in the description for both the trailer and your website where you can get Ninja Badass. You can find out where it's playing in theaters. Let me throw that up. There you go. Let me throw up the, I think I put a little ticker here of where you can find your movie. I'll find it, but here it is. It's your website is whitetrashninja.com.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was the original title, and I changed it to Ninja Badass. So that's the original website.
Well, Ryan, was it? Well, obviously, I love trauma films. I love like what they call the good bad movie, and my favorite quote from John Waters is like, "If you try to make a bad movie, you can't fail." This is not a bad movie. This is a super entertaining, over the top film that I think I watched it on my television. I kind of wish I saw it in a theater because the reaction would I wish I saw it in a theater, a couple beers in. But what inspired the film and got you to want to make it? And to my comment about was it inspired by anime?
Yeah, there are a lot of there are just a shit ton of random references to everything, like video games, anime. John Waters was a big influence. Like Female Trouble is one of my favorite movies, and Pink Flamingos. Mainly 80s ninja movies from Godfrey Ho. I don't know if you guys like those. Ninja Terminator, Ninja Thunderbolt, and Dolomite and The Human Tornado were big influences. When I first wrote it, I originally intended Rudy Ray Moore to be the sensei, but then he died. I spent a really long time writing the movie and rewriting it, but so those are the main influences.
It follows that classic storyline of the genre and those other movies that you mentioned. One thing I also have to compliment you and maybe warn our audience: there's nudity in this film. This film is sexy. I mean, I really think boobs is kind of a motivation of your main character. You want to win the girl, right? But there's
you're missing half of it. It's not just boobs, but it's bacon as well. Bacon.
Well, that's right, bacon, and not only that, sex with a dragon. A woman has sex with a dragon.
A lot of spoilers going on here.
I'm sorry about the spoilers, but I feel like
there's so much bullshit in the movie. It's just nonstop. So there are always things for people to still discover, I think.
Well, it's an amazing achievement when you see the film. I mean, you see the poster behind you and you've got all these accolades from festivals. How did you get all these festivals? Because this is not I like to say that sometimes a Sundance movie or an indie movie is like a documentary about lesbian wheat farmers. It's like something that's very earnest and sincere. And your film, it's sincere in its nuttiness and over the topness. But how did you get this into all those festivals?
It was tough. So I did try and submit to Sundance and Slam Dance and South by Southwest, and I tried to get in with the lesbian wheat farming documentaries. It's like a midnight movie, but they wouldn't let me for years. So eventually we got into an underground festival right before the pandemic happened. Was our first screening in South Texas at the South Texas Underground Film Festival, and it was awesome. And then the pandemic happened, and then everything just went to shit, and festivals got canceled, and then they were online, which sucked. But then eventually, if you get into the right underground festivals, then other festivals see it. They see it in the program for those, so then you just get into more, and it kind of snowballs. And then at the tail end, we got into one in Italy, which was actually like in a theater in Italy. And I went over there with my mom. And we saw it in this like town in northern Italy, and it was like really wild.
I'm amazed that you have the same hair in real life that you have in the film.
Yeah.
I feel like your hair is kind of a character in the movie.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, it'll be a character of all my movies, probably. I was thinking, like, if I do a different series of movies, then I'd dye my hair black or something.
I just love the whole spirit of the film and the whole like over the topness and also that the movie does have heart. I don't want to like oversell that it's like it's all boobs and bacon and martial arts and blood and gore. But let me just say, you're getting a lot of love in the chat. So do you mind answering some questions from our audience?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go through. I'm going to read. I don't know if you can see it on your screen, but I'm going to read these to you here. We got Filter. It says Ninja Badass. Also slap that like button. Indifa Ninja Badass. Indifa Ninjas. Maybe you know that girl. I don't know.
That's my mom.
Oh, that's your mom. Okay, that's great. Not
She's also in the movie. And she also helped make it.
Oh my God. Not the Batman. It's that ninja guy, Ninja Badass. Jack D. Ripper says, what other directors, films, or TV programs influenced this film? Good question.
Yeah, John Waters was a big one. I like Hong Kong action movies. And you guys were talking about RRR. I haven't seen that yet, but I love Indian action movies, like from any time period. But for Hong Kong, it's mainly like Sammo Hung. Prodigal Son is like one of my favorite movies. If you've seen that movie, it's like total, just goofy Hong Kong. It's like Stephen Chow before Stephen Chow got popular. So Stephen Chow, I guess, influence too.
Dempsey, has your exposure to basically all aspects of filmmaking helped you write, direct, act, and produce this movie?
Yeah, it did. I always wanted to make movies. Well, starting in like college or whatever, I wanted to make movies. So I got into VFX, and I learned everything to be able to make a movie on my own. So I've done lots of improv classes and sketch classes and writing classes and all that shit in LA. And I did VFX on this movie, The Revenant, a vampire movie. It's great. Wow. I don't know if you can watch it anywhere, but and John dies at the end. It's a Don Coscarelli movie. I did VFX on that.
I love Don Coscarelli.
Yeah, and I did like movie trailer stuff for the past 10 years. So that really helped my editing, I think. But yeah, in my style, Yeah,
I want to ask you about the VFX because I always felt like as indie filmmakers, it's out of reach. It's out of your grasp. But it seems like now being able to do VFX for a film is gotten easier. What was your experience like because there's a lot of it in this movie. Yeah.
It was hard. I was working a full-time job at the time. So that was like 60 to 100 hours a week. And I'd come home at night and work on my movie. So that's also why it took like 3 years or whatever, 3 or 4 years to edit it and do the VFX and stuff. But yeah, it was hard. It was tough staying motivated and everything. But thankfully it was a comedy. So, like, the VFX is like adding in pigs and cows, which is pretty fun. Or just, making the blood, more blood, adding in more, going back and adding in more blood and then more blood.
Or like a sea of puppies in one scene.
Yeah, or a sea of puppies. But yeah, I was watching like a VFX talk about Everything Everywhere All at Once, which I adore. And there were only like 4 or 5 VFX guys on that movie for the whole movie, and they all used After Effects. I mean, they used the same thing that everyone else could, pretty much.
Wow. More comments and questions, JC. So I will ask you once again, Samurai, do you surrender? Masters of the Nerddom, laugh my ass off. Greatest name for a ninja movie. Flaccid Phoenix has a question. What was your favorite scene to shoot in this movie?
Well, I mean, we already gave it away. It's the boobs and bacon scene. Actually, it was like one of the best days of my life. I don't know if anything will really top it. But it was. I think I scheduled it for my birthday too. And the cinematographer Daryl Delaney, who's very talented, he was like filming the boobs and the bacon, right, and the butt and everything. I'm like, you gotta get in there, man. You gotta get closer. And he's so polite. I had to take the camera from him and do it myself.
Was there a choreographer for that scene too?
I guess it was me. I mean, it was just like, it was me, Daryl, and my mom, like for pretty much every shot of the movie. Just imagine my mom standing 3 feet away, like with a boom mic, or me standing with a boom mic. I mean,
well, here we go. Boobs and Bacon spoilers. Not the Batman says Boobs and Bacon would be a great strip club name. Everyone's talking about
popular strip.
Indifa. Italy loved Ninja Badass. Ninja Badass is a great ride. Best title for a movie in a long time. And then more questions here. Solomon Thornton asks, what is your favorite anime? Because I really felt it was also not just like classic like exploitation action movies. I felt anime was something of an influence on the film.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I didn't go like overboard because, I could have like rotoed out people and made the background go crazy and shit, like Scott Pilgrim or something. But so I'm not like super into anime. I can't remember like what references there are to anime in particular. Akira would definitely be my favorite anime. Yeah. I'm kind of a noob with Dragon Ball Z. I grew up on Dragon Ball Z.
Flaccid Phoenix says Ninja Badass is boob and bacon propaganda.
Yeah,
it's propaganda, folks.
So,
and then Bad Adam 12 says a great director once said, "All you need is a big chase and a big chest." I think I would agree. Nate Winchester asks, was there anything unplanned that ended up in the movie?
I don't know. I mean, I originally planned for it to be like a Harmony Korine, like gritty, artsy movie. So I guess everything's unplanned. I don't know. I mean, it was all scripted and stuff. It wasn't like anyone just like took their top off and just start shaking their boobs around. So,
well, that's what you can always say. You can say, you know what, the nudity, it's in the script. It's part of the story. It's organic to the story. So there you go. And I'm sure that you didn't have an intimacy coordinator. Because that's like a real job in Hollywood now. Intimacy coordinator.
Yeah, nowadays I'd be pretty freaked out about it. But we shot it in like 2015. It was a long time ago.
Oh,
it was different times.
Jack D. Ripper asks, how rigorously did you stick to the script while shooting?
Kind of rigorous. Daryl, the cinematographer, and I would, we throw out different lines for people to try and everything. But it was pretty much stuck to the script. We did shoot the most of the movie at the end of in the fall of 2015. There were like 45 shoot days or something, and we had to just stop because there was snow on the ground and we just couldn't do it anymore. So then we went back the next fall, and we shot the beginning and the end of the movie. And I had actually rewritten both of those after like the experience of filming the middle, which I was really happy with to be able to do that.
That's one thing I admired about the film is that it didn't feel like, as crazy and as dense as the movie is, it didn't feel like you were out of control of the story at all. That there was a storyline going through it, and it didn't feel like you were just throwing things out there for shock value. Even though there's a lot of shock value in this movie.
Thank you.
Jack D. Ripper goes on to ask, what in your opinion is the most important quality of a film director?
I don't know. I guess I've never really thought about that. I don't really think of myself as like, I got this great mind or something. When I was on the set of like John Dies at the End, I saw Don Coscarelli, who people would say I think everyone would say he's an amazing film director. He was like asking people like, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? Should we do this? And I kind of took that as an example of how to do my set, where it's like anyone can have an idea or a way to do something. It's not about like a really super specific vision, at least not with me. But yeah, so I think being open to what's going on and changing things as they happen I think that's the most important quality. And, like studios always push the idea of like, oh, the visionary Zack Snyder comes, has this great vision, but it's a team of people and it's a bunch of ideas from everybody.
On that note, Nate Winchester asks, will this movie be the start of an entire ninja cinematic universe or badass cinematic universe?
It would probably be a ninja badass cinematic universe. And hopefully, I don't know, I'd like to make a TV show with these two characters. Well, actually, it'd be a different pig, but it'd be Haskell and a talking pig fighting crime. Well, we'll see.
Dempsey asks, if you could be involved in filming any pre-existing IP, which IP franchise would you choose, and what role would you like to play? Producer, actor, writer? Is there anything out there that you'd want to take on as your next project?
Yeah, Lobo would be great. I could get roided out somehow, or just get a muscle suit. I could play Lobo. I would write it and direct it. I play every part of it, probably.
Yeah. Fletcher Williams, what did you shoot on, and what software did you use for editing?
It was a Panasonic GH5, and I used Premiere and After Effects, and I used Blender for some of the 3D stuff, like the explosions and things.
Oh.
Nice. Masters of the Nerddom, what was one of the most difficult aspects of making Ninja Badass?
I mean, it seemed horrible at the time when we were filming. I mean, because I did pay everyone, a low rate, but and some of the locations were free. But so it's like you're running out of money the whole time, and so there's a lot of pressure. And I don't know. The most difficult, I guess, is seeing it all the way through, because it's like a roller coaster. When you're doing something creative, it doesn't matter what it is. You love it, you hate it. Someone rejects it, someone likes it. So that's the most difficult part of everything, I think. And
people are saying, Solomon Thornton, hell yeah, I would love to see a Lobo film. Dempsey, Lobo would rule. Yeah. And then Jack D. Ripper asks, do you think there are enough opportunities for people with limited experience in the industry?
Opportunities for what?
For just to enter. I mean, look, everyone starts as a PA. That's how you start. Yeah. I mean, Kevin Feige,
by the way,
was a PA. Kevin Feige was a PA. I mean, you look at people in the industry, it's like the mailroom or a PA, entry-level job. Anyone can get an entry-level job in the industry. And then last question here from Flaccid Phoenix, who asks, what is your dream project that you want to work on next? And before you answer that question, I just want to compliment you on, you started shooting in 2015. This is a quality, and I want to compliment you because you don't give up. You don't give up. You did not give up the dream, and then you went on the festival tour, and you went to Italy, and then the last 2 years happened, and then some of the festivals, you debuted digital. It's it's the whole secret to success in anything is just to not quit. I mean, it's like that. You're on that journey. And so I just want to compliment you for that, because that is the quality that that's how you get to the finish line with an indie movie. I mean, I'm going through that right now with 2 films. I've been working on one for over a decade. So, but what is your dream project?
Next movie is a bodybuilding movie I want to make. It's about the guy gets his pituitary gland augmented, and then his muscles just kind of go crazy. It's kind of like Akira a bit, but not as violent, I guess. But, it'd be my version of a bodybuilding movie. So it's Ninja Badass is my version of a ninja movie. So,
Love that. Well, Ryan, I want to thank you for coming on the Film Threat podcast today. I was so excited to have you here just because, I feel like you're an example to our audience that watches us every week live. You can make a movie. You can make a movie called Ninja Badass. You can make a movie called Ninja Badass, and it opens in theaters. And it comes out, on. In fact, I was going to ask you about the Blu-ray, which fell over there. Are there extras on it? I hope that there are extras and commentary and all that stuff.
Oh yeah, there's extras. There are VIP extras. If you've seen the movie, then it makes sense. You got the ninja van on the back. Yeah, I did the extras myself. It was a half hour. So the original cut of the movie is 2 hours long. There's a half hour of deleted scenes and bloopers, and I don't know. There's a fun secret menu. It's pretty fun.
I love Easter eggs. I love Easter eggs. Cool. And I just want to remind people, go to whitetrashninja.com where you can get more information. And it's all, here you go. Ninja Badass is now in theaters and on digital Blu-ray on June 14th. You can get it. Go to whitetrashninja.com. Ryan, dude, thank you for joining us today. This was a blast.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me. You guys
cool.
are awesome.
All right. Have a great rest of your weekend, man. Later. Cool. That was awesome. God, what great. Dude, I just love that. I'm never going to give up. I'm never going to give up. And if you go to the website, you got to go to whitetrashninja.com. The website is funny. The website is pretty hilarious. Let me see if I can bring it up here for a second.
I mean, the movie was just fun from start to finish. clearly the guy knows his stuff. He knows his genre. And he knows how to parody it, and I think that's the strength of this movie. Is it doesn't feel haphazard in any way. He knew what he was doing, and he knew what he needed to get on screen.
No, absolutely. Like, yeah, there it is. Yeah. That is the.
By the way, the villain went after cute puppies and hot chicks. That was how he got his powers.
But the bacon scene, and I know I ruined something by talking about that. And also, I like you use what you have, right? You use what you have, available to you, right? So he spent years writing it, then years shooting it, and then like created this movie that is just wild, over the top, weird. But it's at the Lemley Monica on June 10th. That's today. That's awesome. And you can get the Blu-ray on Amazon. Look at all these accolades with the laurels. I love that. This is, and I will say this, if you're a filmmaker, you have a website to promote your movie, this is an awesome website. Look at this.
Yeah.
I love it.